Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Spin Rack. I'm here with my boy, Petey. Today we're talking about Succession. Say what's up, Petey.
What up?
Dude, Succession season 3 has gotten rave reviews throughout the world. It's gotten quite a few. Uh, the Rotten Tomato scores have been off the chain. 97% score that they're saying it's one of the best shows on TV ever. But I gotta say, I have my doubts. Yes, you're hearing that. Well, Rotten Tomatoes actually even has that score for me, 97% as of today, critics, and 86% as of audience score. And I gotta say, this to me, while it may be the acting may be spot on, the show may be well done. I think it misses in one critical
Oh,
part of the whole
please. I
show.
want to hear
Yeah,
this.
there are no likable characters. But let's get to what Succession is about. Pete, do you want to give a brief synopsis of it and let's get into it?
Secession is like the make it short of well, this is dating myself. If you watch anything like
Okay.
Dynasty or Dallas or any of those nighttime soaps, this is the fine family dynamic of those things with the big business. But what if the father figures weren't the nice guys? What if the father figure was the guy who was the ruthless businessman instead of the businessman with a heart of gold, right? That's trying to do right. Like he's really this he let's see, uh, it's a business that encompasses like CNN. It has some Disney stuff where it has theme parks, and it's like this whole thing kind of conglomerate. Where when you come into season three, the father is kind of on his heels, right? The whole company is kind of struggling right now, right? They're not as strong as they once were because Kendall, the one who's supposed to be the heir apparent to Logan Roy, he's like has went and brought up this thing from the parks that is going to take them down, right? But we know what happens when someone gets into some sort of political scandal. They kind of able to sidestep it, pay some fines, and get out of it. But Kendall's really trying to go on this altruistic thing, but his ego kind of takes him. But when it starts, that's the start of it, right? Okay. But one of the things in this one of the things in this thing is in the story is it's the family against Kendall, right? But Kendall is only directing his energies at the father, Logan, who's struck him many a times, has hurt him in many places, right? So he tries to get Roman, he tries to get Shiv on his side, even his older brother, Connor, to come in with him and take down the father because the father does not want to give up power. And he said from when Kendall came here, this was the first season was taking power back from Kendall because Kendall was the heir apparent. The next thing was tricking Shiv into thinking she was going to run the thing. And then this season has been Roman getting his act together. He's not perfect, but he's starting to figure out business and how to play, how to make his moves, how to get some of his fathers out of him and not be sort of a know nothing. He's made some connections, even weird ones, with some of the people there, but he's becoming the voice and he knows how to deal with things, right? But at the same time, the father still isn't going to give Logan is not going to give them into anything, give them up at any point now. So I think the problem with worrying about everyone being likable is like moot, right? If you like Jeff in Dynasty or Blake or this, that, and the other, the most interesting character was Alexis, right?
Are you asking me or telling me?
Who is interesting? You Dexter? You can say whoever you want.
I didn't really watch the show much, but I guess Alexis was the one that was everybody talked about the most.
Yes.
Yeah, and there was another character I can't remember who was coming in to try to make the different shows up. But I mean, look, I think that it's the key thing is you're watching a show. There's two key elements that you got to have. You have to have entertainment, and you have to have either entertainment or learning or something along those lines, or you have to be able to like or connect with a particular characters. And here, like you just said, this. the father had the son, Kendall was heir to the throne. He was going to, in the first season, he was going to be made the man, and then his father just changed his mind and pulled him down, which caused a whole bunch of different issues. And you see the father just overarching control the family, and even the business where people have to, when it's just they have to bow down to him. They have to tell him what, please him or whatever. Even when he makes bad decisions, and he makes bad decisions, the reality is this company and the family. There's only really one voice and one person that matters, and that is the father, Roy Logan. Now, hey, that's not necessarily a bad thing if this guy is a smart guy, and he is very smart. And he's a character who's trying to do right. He has had a lot of adversity and stuff, but overall, I can't find him likable. I can't, especially to what he does to his kids. I can't find him. I don't find any of the kids likable. I mean, initially I was a Kendall guy. I was like, yeah, Kendall, probably he's going to be the guy who's going to come back and fight. Some of the things he does is just so just bad, and the logic he uses doesn't make sense. Then you have his sister Shiv, who at least I thought, all right, this is my second character that I'm going to follow. This is going to be someone who's going to be able to do or set up. And even Shiv falls flat after a while. Look, if this is what TV is in terms of, oh wow, this is a great show and we really like this stuff, but these characters have to be this despicable somewhat, I can't get into it. I mean, someone's going to say, oh, wait, but you like The Wire or whatever. I said, I did, but you could always fall behind a particular character and you see.
Who's likable? Omar?
Yeah, Omar.
Omar's not likable.
They're all bad guys. But at the same time, is the show entertaining? And that's the question. At least I'm being entertained. Here, I'm seriously watching this show and becoming depressed. As
You
time
are
goes,
supposed to be like what's the Grace Rap of Mice and Men. It's a drama.
it could be a drama all at once.
No,
It's
likable.
depressing. It's a depressing show that brings me down. And I'm telling you right now, if I wasn't in a good state of mind, I think some people will just jump. You know what I'm trying to say? So I think that there should be advisory at the bottom of the show. This show is going to depress you at the very end, because it's just absolutely.
It's still alive. That's the thing. Kendall, there was no coming back, and he was a robot in season 2, and then he became like the air. He became the internet sensation type of thing, and then he found himself again. Like the moments in the story where you connect is him trying to connect with his siblings, which if they had not saw it as him being controlling of them and him forcing it, now the rest of them are seeing that they can't do anything else but force the father. So it was a genuine moment. Even from the wrong person, he has some good points and he has some bad points. Now Shiv has a lot of bad points, but at the same time she's very smart. So you can do that. And Roman has a ton of bad points, but at the end, like there was this thing where Roman was kind of challenged and Kendall came to his protection in the first season. Those are the things that are the strongest part of this story. So there is some points. It's hard because even Roy's, his second wife is kind of not the person we saw. She just wants in it for the money. And now he's got a new girlfriend who was in Kendall's car at the start of the season. And now she's having sex with with Logan Roy.
And she's being used by, don't forget, she's being used by Logan Roy. So in the very end of the season, she leaves because she realized, look, he was just basically using me. And that's why the wife, she has, at this beginning, she's a 100% supporter. Follow your father, do your father. Their father made this playground for you. This is not what the world is and stuff like that. But then when he cheats on her, and she's like, it doesn't, I don't know if the cheating bothered her more than him actually making decisions without her. So I think somewhat she probably would have been acceptable to some of that stuff. But the cheating alone, and then working with someone else was just out of bounds for her. So. It's the dynamic. Look, I agree with what you're saying. I liked that Kendall and his sister. I like the fact that siblings can come together. They can joke and they can mess with it. But it's just
That's what you saw in the finale of Kendall being broken. Roy, what's the name? Roman building up Kendall, because he has the numbers and he can put the plan together. So he had a plan to help them, and they were able to come together. And then it came with a thing where they would work together.
Right. And what happened? Because
they talked to the father. That's the thing. They talked to the father. These terrible people tried to reason with the father, and then Roman tried to say, "We've had all these moments here together. Why would you do this?"
Right.
So the other thing is, likable
But
characters
hold up,
like
Petey.
Rava,
But
huh?
hold up, Petey. But you see, remember this thing is that they talk to the father, right? And the continual thing in the story is that they constantly try to talk to the father. But the problem is everybody's playing by the rules, but the father. Like the
Yes.
first thing is probably the best thing, where they're trying to where Kendall's trying to oust the father because he's like his judgments is bad, some of the decisions, and so he basically has a lot of the members of the board on online. But it's a procedure. You got to get the father out. He's not supposed to be involved. He refuses to leave the meeting. So he's getting involved. And then he's intimidating some of the people that are there, particularly Roman, who buckles under his father's stuff. So Roy is able to remain in control at the very end. And I'm saying he doesn't follow the rules. And
Nope.
everybody else, this is a situation where everybody follows the rules except for him. And he's able to break the rules. He's able to count the rules. The logic of his deals don't even make sense. But because he's the boss, everybody just has to go with it. Even though when his top lieutenants are like, nah, he's a little nuts. But in the end, everybody follows. I remember that scene, I think in season 2, where they're in, I forgot what country, Hungary or I don't want to Czechoslovakia. There's no Czechoslovakia, there's Slovakia and the Czech Republic. And he makes them start acting out stuff like jumping around like dogs and stuff and rolling around. And I'm like, these are grown people who are grandparents, some of them. And it's like, yo, what the fudge? Crazy, bro.
So I would only say I think it's enjoyable. I think we trick ourselves into thinking likable and non-likable. Whereas only thing I would say is we have Rava, his ex-wife, and those moments between Kendall and Rava are the moments where we see something that could work, but the ego probably pushed them away. But they still have this connection, they have this chemistry, and that's what then you got to pick your moments. Like some of Kendall's associates that's with him. But obviously, the last thing I'm going to end on is the thing is that they just grow bad people. Some businesses grow bad people. We got Tom, he's someone that's grown into this, and we got Greg, right? So they're grown into it, becoming these terrible people. But you have to find your moments of your heart, and the siblings have found that sort of thing. And that
And
moment
that's
when Kendall's on the ground, that's when they find their moments.
few and small
Yep,
moments. Okay, they're
totally.
not big moments. And the very
You
fact
ever
that
had a brother? You ever fight with them?
yeah, we come back in love. So the key thing is that
No, years. There are months of not talking and years of not talking and hanging out
so yeah,
or being uneasy around each
so
other. And then
no,
at some
I mean,
point you realize, this is this is possibly one of it's from the beginning. We've been walking together that line from the school bus from whenever. So
yeah. But I'm saying the problem is it's just so small and so rare that this stuff is happening. And I don't know. I just don't feel that it entertains me or provides enough insight, into what I would like to see. And it's just like, it was a slog. And I gotta say, and I'm telling everybody, this is not everybody. And I understand the thing with critics is that they see tons of different shows, right? And so they're like, they got tons of different shows. And so of course they become jaded with everything else. And of course, this is something that they want. I totally disagree. I think that great acting. I just think they just need to up the likability factor. Okay. So
all right, so we're closing it off. I say
yes.
check it out. He says worry about it because he's scared of dramas. He don't. I mean, he loves reading books, but he only reads the one with the nice ending, the nice ending. So,
I
what can
say
we do?
watch Succession at your peril. Make sure you have a good psychiatrist on speed dial because you're gonna need it. Okay.
Correct.
Out.